All right, I guess it's as we're live, and I know there's always a little delay, so I hope this starts when it says that I'm starting. But welcome to the channel. My name is Joshua. That's Kiwi. She's the main star of this channel, or has been for a long time. But this is Knox Studios, and these days we are leaning into a bit more of daily progress as we get ready for 2024. I'm kind of in this phase of maybe a little bit of experimentation, but just allowing me to work through this as well as over the course of this year. I got really attuned to utilizing a daily meditation with solfeggio frequencies and other levels of frequency, the hertz level, in order to kind of resonate and feel my way through it. However, it was kind of a loose format, and now as I've been able to navigate into this as a daily practice over the course of, more or less the last month and a half now, it's really allowed me to utilize my vocal cords during these frequencies in order to kind of initiate more a resounding benefit. Not just hopefully for me, but hopefully for you. And so, baseline here for Knox is that understand that NaHX stands for never again hate, X being a variable of, the thing that sets us off our beam, off of our peace and serenity. So I'm going to introduce our frequency here and kind of introduce us to this 528 hertz frequency from silent rhythm over here. Now the solar plexus is where this is at, which is more in our diaphragm, and our personal power is represented by the element of fire. And although this is blue and we kind of picture the elements in this solar plexus is actually yellow. However, the purest flame actually is blue. And so I think that through this meditation, if I can, we'll try and lean in more on that purification process of the fire and recognize that from our personal power, as we've created something, right, in our lower sacral chakra, which is where we were at yesterday, and before that was the root chakra, that this balancing act, the alignment moving up the scale, the kundalini rising, this really comes down to an ability to utilize what we have at each chakra center and build progressively. So from that creativity that we have in our sacral chakra, that expression, that authenticity that we're hoping to utilize, whether that's from our writing, dancing, singing, those types of things, to what degree are we able to use this? Because really in the solar plexus, it comes down to personal power. And it comes down to either this feeling of omnipotence, which is a way of being out of balance, like, oh, everything's just so great and grand and very egocentric perhaps. And then the flip side of that is absolute powerlessness, where really like what that comes down to, what that feels like, is really low levels of consciousness. Shame, guilt, apathy, anger. And so we really need to balance and be able to stomach what the world has in store for us. And in this frequency, it's kind of about this balancing act and repairing and healing of constance with the way our personality shows up in this world related to other people, events, and so forth. And this also is kind of just that hair above a sleep frequency. Although this one definitely is more geared towards a relaxing, sleeping, melodic presentation of the 528 hertz. So with that said, I'm not going to hesitate. I know that a couple of these meditations have gone fairly long, and I am just more being whimsically, induced by the frequency in order to present a sort of guided meditation process. So I hope that in this meditation today will be no different, and that you can get something out of my experience in meditating. So before and as we begin, I invite you just to find a relaxed space and place in your home, as I just tend to really prefer sitting here, cross-legged in this frequency. At the root energies, I prefer to have my shoes and feet, exposed, touching the ground. However, most other I just prefer to have my straightened spine and cross-legged. But that's just for me. Now, today's element that I'm using is some tea. I'm using a green tea with some honey to really clear and cleanse. And I'm not using anything else, although I did do a solar plexus, the hem incense, which still lingers in the room here as well. But anything that is going on in your space, in your place, just allow that to happen, allow that to be. And still just use it as a tool to test your ability to find deeper spaces within your own meditation. So we'll just begin by closing our eyes and focusing on this fire inside. Breathing directly into the belly helps to activate that burning sensation, that fuel. Actively breathing directly into the belly as babies breathe. Allowing the belly to expand, going right through the chest to the belly. And with each breath, just feeling that fire growing. To feel that fire building to a intensity beyond just burning things, but to purification. To recognize that with just our breath, we can bring our own personal power into this. And from even the most desperate place of powerlessness, we can cultivate an opportunity to build power within us. To recognize that just because some people may not pay attention to our creativity, and when we share it, when we express ourselves, that just by doing it does change and alter the world. It does change the way that I show up in the world. And therefore it is useful and worthwhile. Let's allow this fire within us to be cultivated from a place of love. First, a love for ourselves. An appreciation for showing up for myself today. For having eaten a healthy meal. For having smiled at another person. For having thought of others first before just myself. For having provided some act of service. For enjoying life. For asking the universe for something. For becoming an active participant in this life. For not wasting the day. And with these deep breaths, you can bring them to a halt and a pause, just resting easy. And focus more calmly on the breath as it flows. Perhaps just becoming aware of a bit warmer sensation, a bit brighter in outlook. But also recognize that it is not worthwhile to go beyond into ego, into any extended self-appraisal, but just to recognize that this is what the world and the universe asks of me. And that in order to have a fulfilling life and experience happiness and joy, I must maintain a level of humility, with the way that I show up in the world, and especially related to the way that other people respond to me. In this, we recognize that I am but a channel, a conduit to an energy that's much more powerful than I. I'm here to recognize that I am not all-knowing myself. There's constantly so much to learn, and from that learning to also new experiences. And I draw my awareness toward the opportunity to have new experiences as a pathway to even more abundant joy, more present happiness, more self-awareness. And that as you use this expression and this creativity from a place of personal power and actually introduce these creatives in all forms into the world. That I let them go. And I let them be. I ask the universe to help me let go of perfection idealism. I ask the universe to show me opportunities for personal growth. And I rest easy in knowing that I'm exactly where and how I need to be. I also come to recognize here in this moment that the universe is so broad and endless. And the universe expands regularly. I recognize that there's so much to be shown. And that when I don't get what I want, that's okay. If it's intended for me, it will come in due time. Not as I demand it. Here I place my trust and faith in the universe that it will teach me all that I am required to know. Most especially about my purpose. And how that I might be able to best accomplish and become a part of the living action of living, breathing, and being in pursuit of becoming a more authentic version of myself. A place where I think of myself less, and I'm able to help and effectively help others more. At this time, I want to invite you into your own meditation with this frequency. build the purification of your own personal power, to come to a place of balance between all-knowing self-righteousness and powerlessness. In order to find a place of humility in sharing our creative outlets with the world. Enjoy your meditation. Thank you so much. I want to welcome you back. You do not need to open your eyes just yet. Just come to a place of appreciation for spending time with yourself again today. For breathing deeply. The solar plexus Mani Pura 528 hertz personal power chakra center. This is the place where we balance our ego and grow out from our original creativity in order that we can stay in a place of humility, to recognize that this is a place where there's always so much still to learn. The universe will always continue to guide us in new directions and toward new experiences, so that life can be experienced from a more joyful, happy, peaceful place. We take a couple final deep breaths into our belly and finish our purification for this meditation today. Just thank ourselves again for continuing to progress and to put forth our best efforts to accept what the universe has in store for us and to let go of the things that we might want that don't seem to be happening. But to stay diligent in pursuit of sharing our creativity with the world, with others, to stay open to growth. Thank you so much for joining me today. Please feel free to come back again, and from here, sky's the limit, as we'll be entering our heart chakra tomorrow or the next day. We'll have Christmas. I hope that you enjoy that with your loved ones and experience the gift of giving. So happy holidays to you. We'll see you in the next one.